Hello there from Sagara. I just want to introduce to you the reverse inquiry, which is a tool that we use in the Kiloby inquiries. The reason that we use this tool is because we're aware of a belief that somebody's holding, and we just want to get to know that belief. We want that belief to show itself more. So by a belief, what I really mean is a deficiency story. And what a deficiency story is a sense of lack that we experience in our life. So that sense of lack might be something like, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel that I'm heard. I don't feel that I'm safe. I don't feel that I'm loved. I don't feel that I'm important. Something like this that's manifesting in our lives. And even though it might be obvious that that is the view that we're holding, often we're not able to see the extent or the full scope of the deficiency story when we're in inquiry with somebody. So what we do is we use the reverse inquiry. And all the reverse inquiry is a statement where we reverse the deficiency story. So instead of I am not good enough, the reverse inquiry statement would be I am good enough. Instead of I am not loved, the reverse inquiry would be I am loved, and so on. So what we find is that when we get somebody to say this phrase, well, initially what we find is it's almost like there's a reboot. So somebody might be thinking, I'm not good enough, and we ask them to look at, I am good enough. And it's almost like saying, put that down and look over here. And what people do is that they kind of look over there, and for a moment, the other story drops away. When they then say the phrase, something like, I am good enough, all sorts of resistance might come up, like a somatic response, the words no, or maybe some images, an image that proves that they're not good enough. So there's this huge response of words, images, and or sensations, which is almost like the ego rising up to counter the phrase. And that's really what we're trying to get to happen. And the beauty of this inquiry is that the reverse inquiry always succeeds in doing that. So if you imagine we're getting the ego to rise up, the ego doesn't seem to have the capacity to outwit the reverse inquiry. So you can keep doing it again and again and again, and it always seems to work. Okay, so the other thing that might happen when you say the reverse inquiry, when you say something like I am good enough, is that you might just get the response, I don't want to say that, which again is a response to the inquiry. And if that does happen, then it's worth following that. You can always come back to the reverse inquiry at a later point. In fact, that's the way the reverse inquiry works. So we say the statement once, something comes up, we look at those words, images, or sensations until they've cleared, and then we say the reverse inquiry again to see if there's a charge left. And if something else comes up, we again work with the words, images, and sensations again and again until there's just space and clarity and calm, and there's no charge left on the phrase. At which point it's also worth saying the opposite of the reverse inquiry, I'm not good enough, and seeing if there's any belief left in that charge, in that statement as well. Because we don't want to charge either positively or negatively. We want no charge at all, so that it doesn't even really register with us anymore. If we're still holding a charge on either side, we need to work with it. Now, when I work with people, I often make the reverse inquiry more specific, because I found when people are facilitating me, I like that. So, instead of I'm not good enough and saying I am good enough, it might be something like, I am confident to speak at the conference tonight, which will immediately bring up all my fears about speaking at the conference tonight. And I may even get the client to image it so that they can kind of build up the fear, and that they've got more to work with in terms of the reverse inquiry. So I hope that's kind of explained it in a way that's helpful. It's really just a very basic introduction but that's what I wanted to put over today. If you have any questions on it, please feel free to comment below, and I'm sure either me or somebody else who's an experienced facilitator will come back to you. Thank you very much.